Hello. We know that India is soon emerging as the world capital of diabetes. It's almost like every household in the urban area has at least one diabetic in the family. So the reasons could be many. It could be the genetic, apart from the genetic predisposition which is always there has also been some genetic changes happening because of the environmental causes, because of lifestyle changes, the food that we eat, the quality of the food we eat, so many other factors. And to top it all, it is also the stress that we all have these days. So I think that is also the reason people have got so familiar with the disease that they cease to consider this as a disease at all. I know why I say this is because people who come to me for consultation, when I ask them about the pre-existing disease conditions, if any, or any known disease conditions, that's what we ask them, and they fail to mention diabetes. It is after maybe the whole consultation towards the end, when we come to the medications that they are currently on, that's when they explain that yes, the sugar is slightly raised and I am on this particular medication. So this is an alarming trend, I would say, because diabetes should not be taken so lightly. The complications, if you know the complications that arise from diabetes, because of diabetes, you will understand how grave this condition is, because it affects almost all the vital organs in the body. The kidneys get affected, the heart gets affected, the nervous system gets affected, the eyes get affected, your metabolism gets affected, your musculoskeletal system gets affected, your brain gets foggy. If I go on, it's almost all the systems and organs in the body which can feel its impact because of the diabetes. So it has to be dealt with seriously. When I say seriously, there is nothing like you have to worry too hard about it, because that is also one entity I am going to tell you about. People are so conscious that they avoid rice altogether, they don't touch a bit of sweet in their entire life. You do not have to go to that extent, but at the same time you should be careful about what you eat and how you eat. You would have heard so many recommendations or suggestions from diabetics themselves, or people who are in their family, or even otherwise laymen giving you various advices on the diet that you should do, or the herbs that you could use, or simple heals, or sometimes simple home remedies for diabetes, and so on. Now, few of them, I don't deny that some of them are really very effective, but at the same time, I don't think you should take all these recommendations at face value, because like any disease condition, each individual who is affected with diabetes would respond, or would respond to the disease condition in a different way, because each system is different, each individual is different. So if it affects in one person, the affection could be the kidney, while the other person, it could be entirely different system which is getting affected. So how can you generalize even the treatments or the remedies for the same? It is not so. So the first and foremost is what you need to, how you address it is by getting assessed about your condition in the right way. When we say assessing the condition in the right way, it is not only the fasting blood sugar or the postprandial blood sugar or the random which has to be taken into consideration. More importantly, I would say it is the glycosylated hemoglobin, or the HbA1c that we say, which is of utmost importance while we deal with diabetes, because monitoring of diabetes, because the fasting or the postprandial or the random for that matter can vary on a day-to-day basis depending on the food that you have taken in the last couple of days. These values could change, but the glycosylated hemoglobin, on the other hand, it gives you an average of the 90 days, 3 months average of the blood sugar level, because it is assessing the glycosylation of the hemoglobin, that is the hemoglobin which is the RBC carrying the glucose in it. So it is that level which is assessed, which is the most precise value that we could get, and it is based on that your control should be executed. Now when you control the diabetes, one thing that I commonly hear from people is that I have avoided, ever since I came to know of diabetes, I have completely gone off rice. Now is rice the main culprit? I wouldn't say so. There are so many people who do very well with rice, intake of rice. If you take parboiled rice, if you take the rice with the fiber content in it, then it is very low in glycemic index. And in some individuals, rice is much more filling than chapati. So in where you had been taking 1 katori of rice, you end up taking 4 chapatis, because that is only then you feel satiated. Then there is no difference between the wheat or the rice. And some people say about the millets, yes, millets are all low in glycemic index and they are very high in fiber. So there is no denying the fact that it is healthier. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely refrain from rice or the rice products totally. Same way some people say that I have reduced carbohydrates and I have increased the amount of protein. Now let me tell you, protein, yes, especially in diabetes, protein has a great role to play, as when the muscles are affected, there needs to be more protein for the muscle to maintain the muscle mass and so on. So yes, it is important that you take protein, but at the same time, if your bodily activities are not too much, then and if the protein intake does not match your body activities, then it will end up storing itself as glycogen again. It is again stored in the stored the same way as carbohydrate is stored. So don't go behind these things. Yes. And the third variety is the fat that we speak about. So people tell me that I have completely avoided fat. There are so many fatty acids which are actually required for your body. The essential fatty acids, what we call, the body cannot manufacture it. There are also some conditionally essential fatty acids that you need to take. So these you will get it in the form of say natural fats, as in butter and ghee and coconut oil, groundnut oil, sesame oil, olive oil. These are the healthy sources of fat, and I would say that you definitely need to take this also. Nuts are good, as it would give you the essential fatty acids to a certain extent. It will also provide you with the protein. So nuts are good to, you could actually snack on these nuts or the sprouted grams and so on. Green leafy vegetables, because vitamins and minerals and the trace elements and the micronutrients, what we call, are also very important to maintain your overall health. And as I have already mentioned, the various systems that it could systems which could get affected as a result of diabetes, it is very essential that you eat wholesome food. So all the micronutrients are also very essential for your body. And if you rely on a vegetarian source of food, or majorly a vegetarian diet, then you would get almost all of these vitamins and minerals. Now apart from that, if you have deficiency going for supplementation, yes, that is depending on your health condition that you could choose to do, but otherwise this should be good. And some people also are of the belief that if they take medications, they can be free in their mind and they do not have to bother about these dietary changes or the dietary inhibitions or so at all, which I would strongly object to, because even if you are on medications, the medications are only helping with the control of the blood sugar level, but the changes that is only reflecting in your blood sugar, but the damage which is internally happening could still go on to a certain extent, I would certainly say. So unless you also put in these efforts, as in the dietary or the exercise, or keeping away from stress, the relaxation techniques, then you are not managing it completely, I would say. And as a supplement of sugar, some people say instead of sugar, I take jaggery and honey. Now jaggery and honey, if taken excessively, will also be considered as sugar in the body. It is definitely, yes, it is healthier source rather than taking the white sugar. If you take jaggery or honey, yes, it is better assimilated from the body, and you also get some nutritional value. And it is less harmful, but that doesn't mean that you can take jaggery or honey in unlimited quantities. And some say I take sugar free. Now sugar free is nothing but a chemical. It is again aspartame, which they generally use in but as a sweetening agent, which is much more hazardous. I would say you might rather take white sugar than taking aspartame containing sugar equivalents. So that way, if you want to use a sugar free or a supplement, then I would say you could use a substitute, not a supplement. I think I have been using this word supplement. No, substitute, a sugar substitute. Then it has to be the stevia, because it's a plant source, and so stevia can be taken moderately. The stevia extract or the tablet form or whatever you get it in market, that can be used selectively, I would say. So that's as far as the diet. So diet, I think I'm pretty much sure. I don't want to give you what to eat at what time and so on, but this is what I wanted to tell you about the dietary aspect. Now exercise is also very important, because blood vessels are also affected because of the diabetes. The circulation is affected because of diabetes. If you exercise properly, then you are helping with the nervous system, the circulatory aspect. Your heart starts functioning better, and there is better circulation to each and every internal organ in your body, which will in turn help you. It will also help your mind. Now if stress is a causative factor, then exercise will also release some hormones, which actually keeps you calmer and happier in the mind, the endorphins and so on. So the exercise is also very important, equally important in tackling diabetes mellitus. Now when you speak about yoga, yes, there are specific postures. I think in my previous video where I was speaking to you about the digestive system and the constipation, all these as videos I have mentioned about this Vajrasana. Now Vajrasana, what it basically does is it draws a circulation towards the digestive system, and it helps the entire digestive system and the eliminatory system. So it is also why I am telling you that particularly now is because I am going to give you the same suggestion. You need to sit in Vajrasana for 10 minutes before and following a meal, and all the three major meals, and that can actually help you keep the blood sugar under control. So this can be easily practiced at home, and apart from that, there are many asanas which help in diabetes, and I can't pinpoint on one, though I can say like maybe Ardha Matsyendrasana, Gomukhasana can be said, Janushirasana, Paschimottanasana, then Padahastasana, then Vakrasana. All these asanas would help in the thing, Viparita Karani. All these are helpful in managing diabetes. So I can't actually tell you this is the best or so. Also because we are not only looking at the digestion and the glucose metabolism part of it, but also the related organs which could get otherwise affected. So to strengthen all these organs, I would say a complete yoga practice including Surya Namaskar is what I would suggest. And if you speak about if you want to know about the pranayamas, there are many pranayamas, and I would certainly suggest Surya Nadi pranayama, Surya Bhedana pranayama, Nadi Shodhana pranayama, which is very safe. You could practice it anytime. And Kapalbhati is also a good pranayama. Brahmari is good. Ujjayi. Pranayama, there is no restriction, like as far as diabetes is concerned, you can practice all these pranayama, unless you have other conditions and where we are not supposed to do, and so on. And relaxation techniques, so the deep relaxation technique, yoga nidra, because sleep is also one entity which needs to be addressed in diabetes, because diabetic cases, because many of them do complain of disturbed sleep and insomnia and so on. So because of the same reason, I would say yoga nidra is good, and some meditation technique, and walking is very helpful in handling the diabetes. And so minimum of 30 minutes of walk at a moderate pace, and if possible twice a day would be ideal to help with the diabetes. And if you ask me how many times to eat, that is purely based on individual condition. If you are, I would say, smaller quantity and maybe at an interval would be helpful. So making it totally 5 small meals a day would be helpful. But some people who have been in the habit of eating only 2 main meals in the day, and they survive very well with diabetes, they are able to maintain it very well. So there I cannot generalize and say that you have to stick on to 5 meals a day or so. It all depends on your hunger level, your ability to consume a particular quantity at particular time, and your activities. There are so many factors, and this has to be individualized. So that recommendation would come from your doctor when you meet them in person and discuss about your condition. So these are the things that I wanted to tell you about diabetes, because I know there are many videos and material available to you as far as tackling diabetes is concerned. But then some of that should not be, as I mentioned to you earlier, should not be taken at face value, and you cannot start practicing that, because I know people tell you, if you drink buttermilk with a bitter gourd, which I too have suggested to some people, that is again individualized. In some cases where only the sugar level needs to be brought under control, or a drastic reduction has to be brought in, then maybe that would be helpful. Whereas fenugreek seeds is very good because it works at a much deeper level. It stimulates the pancreatic cells in the release of insulin. So that is good. And I have heard of many things like cinnamon or betel leaves or curry leaves. Yes, these are all good herbs. If you take it is not like you are going to suffer because of that, because it may not have any negative impact on your system. But at the same time, effectively managing diabetes, I think it has to be an overall effort. It has to be a combined effort of the diet, exercise and all these entities, and not just taking one herb or so. And I hope this has been useful, and please do post your comments and feedback. That would be really helpful. And I know we are all going through difficult times, and the corona cases are really on the rise. So I would plead to you all to practice or follow all safety norms and stay safe in your house with your family. So all the best. Thank you.